Welcome back to Global Happenings today. Yesterday ruling against the allocation of River State government has continued to raise concern from different stakeholders. The People Democratic Party has expressed concern over it. But interestingly, we want to look at what the BOT has to say because Adolphus Nwabara, who is the chairman of the BOT, has really fumed over the development in Rivers State, and this time around he's dragging Bola Tinubu along, considering the fact that they had a discussion before now. Now, first of all, let's look at full details of the news. Chairman Board of Trustees BOT of the People Democratic Party PDP Senator Adolphus Nwabara has expressed disappointment over the judgment of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, which ordered the seizure of statutory allocation to Rivers State government. Reported on Wednesday that Justice Joyce Abdul Malik of Abuja Federal High Court declared that Governor Similari Fubara's presentation of the 2024 budget before a four-member Rivers House of Assembly contradicted the constitutional provisions. She criticized Fubara's ongoing receipt and use of monthly federal allocation since January, calling it a constitutional violation that cannot be permitted. Justice Abdul Malik further ruled that the implementation of an unauthorized budget by Fubara's amounted to a severe breach of 1999 Constitution. Reacting, Nwabara in an interview described the judgment as judicial insensitivity and an invitation to anarchy, saying that the judges have gone haywire and the judiciary has failed Nigeria. Nwabara recalled how he told President Bola Tinubu about intervening in the Rivers State political crisis, noting that if not stopped, it could consume Nigeria. The former Senate president also stated that the Rivers allocation is meant for the development of the state and not for Governor Fubara, adding that with the court judgment, youths in the state might be tempted to return to the creeks in response. In his words, and I quote, he said, "For these intentional orders and judgments, INEC would have conducted an election to replace the 27 lawmakers who have constitutionally lost their seat. These judges have gone haywire. Nigeria is gone. The judiciary has failed Nigeria. As far as I am concerned, Nigeria is gone." That's a strong one. Say, can the judges also give an order that the allocation meant for the judiciary be stopped? I had earlier advised President Bola Tinubu to ward in and stop the mess in Rivers because this crisis in Rivers State, if not stopped, is capable of consuming Nigeria. Do they know that Rivers allocation is not for Governor Similari Fubara, but for the development of the entire state? And what it means in essence is that workers will not be paid and government activities halted. Did the judge think of the multiplier effect on the peace and security of the state? I'm not a lawyer, but I believe that certain judgment should follow logic and not just somebody sitting down to issue corrupt judgment. These judgments will just grind Rivers State to a halt, and by so doing, they are inviting anarchy and restiveness because the people might be tempted to go back to the creeks. By the time they stop the source of that money that Nigeria gathered to share every month, there will be no more revenue for the entire country to share again. Why must we take that risk? I am in pain. I weep for this country. This is not the democracy we all anticipated. The CGN should intensify effort in calling the judges to order. If she invited them just a few days ago to admonish them and this thing is happening, then it means there is no hope for the country. That was the position of Nwabara in respect to the outcome of yesterday verdict. And my colleague is in the house, and we just want to look at the position that Nwabara took. Now, this is an elder statesman. This is one person who had been in lawmaking for a long time. He had been in Senate. He's not just been in Senate. He was a president of Senate, which means it's a man of timber and caliber. And then he had taken a position which possibly for some of our viewers and those listening, a lot of people have been saying you're standing with Fubara. Objectivity is very important at this time. 27 lawmakers, we all know they have cross-carpeted, but then it seems as though the judiciary is not doing anything in respect to it. What do you think about the position of Nwabara? He says something very interesting that unfortunately Do they know that river allocation is not for Governor Siminalayi Fubara, but for the development of the entire state? Instead of some other things, what's your position on this?
I don't know why. In fact, this does not require rocket science. If you ask me personally, it's just common sense, logic. Sometimes when we begin to talk about this issue of justice, this issue of judiciary, sometimes we also look at, after looking at the Constitution, of course, that's where you come in. You look at things objectively with, hindsight and foresight involved here. Now, if you're trying to spite Fubara, whether you like it or yes, he's the one holding the golden pen, unfortunately, or unfortunately. And if you want to spite him, do it direct. But the unfortunate part of it is that he has immunity clause, so you can't do anything direct to him until after his reign. So be patient enough to deal with him after his reign. But the unfortunate part is, in trying to deal with Fubara, you will have to deal with Rivers people as a whole. And is it worth it, really? Is it worth all the pains? But if you ask me, like they're saying, everybody just assumed that Fubara should understand that it is government money. But nobody's also understanding that he is the governor of a state, and any form of restiveness, any form of money not flowing as at when due, especially in this hard time, could lead to anarchy, could lead to restiveness, could lead to unrest in the state. And as the chief security officer, he needs to address it before it goes out of hand. And you're now trying to take away that thing that would help him control the state, help him develop the state. And you honestly think that if he tries other options doesn't work, he will allow you collect every money from his backyard, and you all will go home, rest, have fun, do your thing, and it's business as usual. Nigeria should go on. We should begin to look beyond the fact that Fubara is a gentleman. He may be a gentleman, but then again, will people of Rivers be gentle when they are hungry?
That's a big question.
They will not be. He may have enough to eat as a sitting governor, but with that teacher whose salary is not being paid on time, be restive. And that was why when that court verdict came out, if you go to government house that period, there was a lot of traffic boosting everywhere. They were like, we will be paid salaries. This one that they court has stopped payment. So you had to reassure them. Check out video playlist, you get to see it. And reassure them, don't worry, you will be paid. Everything will move on as usual, because they need that reassurance that they're not going to go hungry. Look, this thing they're even stopping. They're stopping it few days to Christmas. I'm talking about few months to Christmas. And remember, last year, Fubara did the unthinkable, gave all of them 100,000 naira to make Christmas fun. And you're now stopping the allocation so that they don't also enjoy Christmas. And you're starting something that has to do with tourism. So that at the end of the day, before next year ending or something like that, Rivers Place will be a place of destination. And all of that will require money and funding. I don't know how this will play out, but I believe that Fubara still have the last card to play. And it actually depends on him to play it.
All right. Now, something very interesting here. The PDP chairman, that's chairman of BOT PDP, said, Adolfo saying that, does the judge know or think of the multiplier effect on the peace and security of the state? And based on that, a lot of things came to my mind. One of it is the fact that Rivers State is not a state that is waiting for revenue or waiting for allocation. They generate it. It gets out of their own backyard. They watch how it is being transferred to the federal account.
They were even angry. Sorry, Angio Blaze was getting angry some many years ago. Why every time Rivers must always be the one to bring their own quota? You know, started mentioning all about Bauchi
and all of that.
All those who are mining gold, they should bring it to so that all of us will share it equally. Okay. Derivative, let's all bring it to the table and so that we can all share it through federal allocation. Now you're not telling the likes of Angio Breaks that thing we are getting from your backyard, we are not giving to you.
No more. Come on. This thing requires some little thinking. Just be empathic. Empathy there means put yourself in the shoes of that person. If you were in that situation, forget about the governor. If you were one of the civil servant, or maybe those in the Craig who have people working in different agencies of the government, and such a thing happened to you, what would have been your next step? Watching every day oil exploration take place, watching also how you're suffering the impact of this oil exploration on your land, on your water, on every other thing, and then someone somewhere who through our own purse they are paying him now decides that you're not going to get the money. How would you feel? Rationality is important at this point.
Someone says something unique. If your father is a pensioner, he has no other source of income, pension is his income, and all of a sudden he loses that pension or he doesn't get paid and he's an old man, how would you feel?
Exactly. We'd like to leave it.